Okay, so Palantir has a major problem, and we got to talk about it right now. So I don't have time to make the whole shebang produce video, but I want you to look at this chart right here. This is the institutional shareholding of Palantir over the course of the last 3 years. So this would be Q3 of 2021, Q2 of 2021, Q1 of 2021, and so forth and so forth. And this last column is Q4 of last year. Now, what I want you to pay attention to, which is very interesting here, is that institutional shareholders, such as BlackRock, such as Vanguard, such as Goldman Sachs, and others, they're all buying the stock. While you were being pumped this FUD, fear, uncertainty of doubt, about how Palantir has so much dilution, how Palantir is actually a consultancy business masquerading as a software company. Yes, we had that. How Palantir is a complete black box business, which nobody knows what they really work, how they do it, what the software is like. And most favorite, the Ross Gerber, the evil argument. Palantir is evil and it's spying after you, and that's why we shouldn't support it. So all of this came about over the course of the last 3 years. So while mainstream media was feeding you all these narratives about how Palantir is not investable, the institutional shareholders, the smart money, the people who actually know what they're doing, definitely buy like crazy. During those few years where all this fear, uncertainty, and doubt was being pumped to you by mainstream media and social media, I just want to show you what the smart money has been doing. Now, I'm here in Stock MVP, and this is a chart that shows something that cannot be argued against. You know, facts and objective data is very, very good at debunking arguments because there's nothing that you can tell me that's going to change the facts. And the facts are that while you were being pumped all this negativity about Palantir, day in, day out, mainstream media, social media, YouTube, X, Instagram, TikTok, God knows where. While you're being pumped all this negativity, look at this. This is the shareholding that's being increased exponentially by institutional investors. Now we're talking about the Goldman Sachs of the world, the Vanguard, the BlackRocks, the Barclays, and you can see every quarter how the institutional shareholding of Palantir was increasing throughout the entire 3-year period while you were being pumped the FUD. While the retail investors being told, stay away from this company, the smart money has been buying like crazy. Look at this. In May of 2021, June of 2021, institutional shareholders held 400 million shares of Palantir. Fast forward to Q4 of 2023, that went up to 856. So 100% plus increase in institutional shareholding in Palantir within a span of 3 years, in which you were being told that the company is not good enough for your money. Now, I've been saying all along that it is extremely undervalued, and I've been saying all along that you're being pumped bullshit. But some people listen, some people don't. Now, I'm hearing some new FUD coming out from the woodwork. I've seen a few articles, a few people who are telling you that now the new FUD is that Palantir is now a perfect company. They have everything that it takes. They're a terrific company, etc., etc. No criticism whatsoever towards the company. No delusion, no consultancy, no black box. It's not evil, with the exception of a few anti-Semites who basically criticize it for sticking up to Israel, which I don't have a problem with at all. But now the new FUD is that it is just too darn expensive. The company is just too darn expensive. It's great, but at this price, you don't want to touch it. Now, let me ask you something. If I show you in this video something that justifies the excitement about Palantir, will you go on these guys' pages, on these guys' social media profiles, and their YouTube channels, and will you post my video and link it so they can watch it? Maybe they'll learn something new? Well, let's see if you take me up on my offer. But let's be serious here for a second. Over the course of the past year and a half, Palantir increased the amount of boot camps, and for the better term, let's convert the word bootcamp to the word funnel. Bootcamps are essentially marketing funnels for Palantir with extremely high conversion rates. They're probably the best converting marketing funnel in existence. And they've increased the amount of bootcamps they run from 80 to 1,600. And still they're oversubscribed, which means there's more people who want to get in than they have seats. That was the last AIP con as well. Way more people wanted to get in. And you have all these companies explaining why Palantir completely changed their business. I've been saying that for years. I've been showing you that for years. Watch my video about Airbus. how Palantir took and increased Airbus production by 33%, the A350, and kept the level of quality, in fact, increased it. Absolutely insane. These are unspeakable things that people were afraid to voice because the narrative was so trendy to shit on Palantir, and people were saying, well, Palantir is just not good enough, and they were basically getting clicks and clout off of hating Palantir. But right now, what you're seeing on the screen is actually the truth. Now, I don't want to take a step away from institutional shareholders because we're not going to be chasing the stock because other people bought it. I don't advocate this on my Patreon group, patreon.com/Tom Nash. Shout out to the Academy members. I don't advocate buying or saying anything, because somebody else did it. Maybe they bought it because they're idiots. I don't know. I'd like to evaluate stuff on my own. I'm just using this as an indicator to show you that, while you're being pumped all this negativity, a lot of people with lots of money and lots of connections, they're actually buying. I'm going to change my view here so you can see it a little bit better. So over the past 3 years, as you can see right here, the revenue of Palantir went up by 103%. So this company increased their revenues in 3 years by 103%. The gross profit of the company went up by 142% at the same time. So they're definitely squeezing more lemonade from the lemons. Now, that's just the beginning. Hang on a second. Now, here's the crazy part. At the same time, while revenue went up by 103% in 3 years, the operating expenses of Palantir in 3 years went down by 12.5%. Show me a company that generates 103% growth in revenue over the course of 3 years while bringing down operating expenses by 12.5%. That's literally like if you had a video game and you had to make a company that's perfect, that would be the attribute you would put in. It is unheard of. I've never seen this. Now, if you scroll down here a little bit and you take a look at EBITDA over the past 2 years is up 116% as well. But here is the crazy part. Look at net income right here. Net income might not be huge yet, but look at the growth. 157% just in the past year. And honestly, that's not even the most exciting part. Look at free cash flow, one of my favorite metrics. Free cash flow is up 325% over the past 3 years. 325% in 3 years free cash flow. Now, you can't tell me that this business isn't scaling like something I've never seen before. And on top of it, we actually know that they have no debt, $3 billion of cash, and they have 4 times more assets and liabilities. We have this idea of how valuations should look like, how multiples should look like, and I totally get it. When we draw a mathematical equation, right, 2 plus 2 equals 4. And if we have 5, that means we did the calculation wrong, right? It's very, very simple. Every calculation has a right and wrong answer. And people tend to think of valuations as some sort of a mathematical equation. And if you have a result that must be right because you've done all the right things, you used the right multiples, you were conservative enough, you've done all the things they told you in business school in your MBA of how to do valuations, and that's why you cannot be mistaken. But here's the crazy part. With valuations, unlike math, with valuations, you can do all the right things, all the right decisions, apply all the right multiples, and still get the wrong result. There's so much unknowns as far as this company goes, the macro goes, hell, the entire world goes. We just don't know what's going to happen. And you have all these so-called experts showing you, well, we did all the right calculations and Palantir is definitely overvalued. Perhaps, and perhaps not. But here's the thing. The only way to make money in the market for retail investors like me and like you, because I don't think BlackRock is watching my videos, is because we get to make money in uncertainty. Because you see, while they have the better models, 57,000 tabs in an Excel spreadsheet with the DCF, and they've done all the correct calculations, but there's one thing we as retail investors do better than all of this smart money, all these professional experts. We are comfortable in uncertainty. We are comfortable in not being sure. We are comfortable in applying a success of future projects that are not easily quantifiable in the DCF. People that are professionals, experts, they can't stand it. We are able to operate in an environment where uncertainty is an opportunity for us to make money. Simple as that. And when you think about it, it's actually insane how the most simple thing for us, which is to allow uncertainty, allow potential, and allow imagination into these calculations, into our valuations, is almost unthinkable, and their head explodes when the professionals try to do so. That's the only place retail investors can find arbitrage, can find opportunities. In the land of uncertainty, we're not going to compete with them on better models. They're going to have the better DCF, the better research, and all that stuff. The only place when we can beat them is long-term, uncertain potential, which is Palantir, word by word, actually. Now, look, Palantir might pull back. The stock market might pull back. No market has ever gone up forever. But here's the thing. When Palantir pulls back and corrects, and it will, some people will panic sell because they think that's the end. But they are hardcore Palantir investors, the long-term people who have faith in this company for the next 10 to 15 years. They're going to view this dip as another opportunity to improve their cost basis. And they will DCA into weakness. And so forth and so forth. And that's going to keep happening years in, years out. The people who are trying to be opportunistic about the stock, they're going to get their ass kicked by the market. It's always going to be a transfer mechanism of wealth from the impatient traders to the patient long-term investors who are comfortable, and relish in uncertainty. And as always, I appreciate your time. Have a great weekend. Before you go, one more thing. Join the Academy, patreon.com/Tom Nash. We would love to have you there. Come learn with us how to value uncertainty, by the way. Also, join the Discord, discord.gg/Tom Nash. It's a community. It is completely free, 100% free to join. Join our community, chat with us, and you can get 1 week for free of Stock MVP. Get Stock MVP at stock-mvp.com. Try it out for 1 week for free. See if it's for you. You're going to use all these great tools that we built for retail investors by retail investors. We'll see you in the next one.